Okay, calling to order the Troy Industrial Development Authority Board of Directors meeting. It is October 17th, 2025. We're going to start with the approval of the minutes from September 26th. Do we have any, we do not have them printed out in our packet, but otherwise, do we have any questions or comments we review with the packet that was sent out via email, or do we have a motion to approve?
Make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I wasn't here, so.
Yeah, right. Can we not? There's not enough people. Okay, we might have to table that. We were just caught up.
Well, you know what?
We both did it last time. We're going to do it at the end of the year again. That was a brain slip, sorry. Okay, on to, well, we have no new business. We have no old business. We are just really meeting today to go over the financials and budget. So before we go into that, though, are there any other board questions or comments on anything that you can think of before blowing past that you're coming to the meeting with? Or otherwise, we'll jump right into the financials. Anyone? Okay. We'll report on that.
All right. Our first report is statement of financial position. As of September 30th, we have total assets of $1,912,059, with $1,183,483 of that in cash. We had total liabilities of $650,127, which left us with a fund balance of $1,261,931. There's no significant changes to the statement of financial position. And lastly, we have the statement of activity. For the month of September, we ran a deficit of $2,065. Our most significant source of revenue was our monthly interest earnings. And our large expenses were in our sponsorships for Chowder Fest and Archtober.
The receivable thing is pretty good number there.
So that's all pilot bills that have gone out.
That they have.
We've received a handful of them. I don't know off the top of my head which ones.
Okay. So what about the dinosaur and the Hoosic Hospitality? Have you seen? Those seem to be the.
I don't think we got those back yet.
Yes, we received the two from the LDC. That we had, but
I know the Hoosic Hospitality went into questions because it was the first year they had their 2%,
right? Sure.
And another fee added in there, so they were asking them about it before they issued their payment. But
well, we have them on the page, right? We got AJE. Oh, nothing. Never mind. Sea Station East, South, and West. Oh, wow, that's a lot of it. Dinosaur, Hoosic Hospitality which one's Hoosic Hospitality?
Is that the Hilton?
yeah.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah.
So you've been talking to them, so they.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
What's the 35 from LDC?
That's for E-Lot and connections.
Got it.
I'm just trying to learn a little bit here. What's that process like if they don't have to check in on time? What's day one look like? A phone call or a letter like, hey, you were supposed to have this payment in on this date and you missed it, or?
Yeah, we usually try and reach out to them because we are in contact with them a lot of times. Check and see if it's on its way, if there's a problem. Sometimes they've sent it in and it's gotten absorbed on the other side because they get the mail.
Okay.
And they just see IDA check and they send it through. So that happens sometimes. When it gets past a certain point, then we usually start to engage Justin, and if it gets further, then they do like a demand letter to let them know that they have to pay it, because we have to pass it on to the schools and the other taxing jurisdictions within 30 days. So, we get late fees, we charge them for the late fees and pass it on also. We don't keep it. We do start taxing late fees on.
Can you confirm when the late fees are assessed?
So depending on the pilot, some of them, I believe it's written in there's a 15-day grace period. So usually like the first of like the next month is first late fee is always 5% of the pilot, and then the subsequent late fees after that is 1% of the total balance owed.
So at least two for 30 days, they're not, will they be assessed a fee?
If we didn't receive them.
Yeah, I think we had, a couple of them went out late because we were calculating them. We wanted to make sure it was accurate, so there was a slight delay with a couple of them.
But when you send it out, so you have a due date, so you have
Yeah.
a due date of whenever it's sent out, so then if it's beyond, so then the late fee would still apply.
I mean, some of them we sent out right before it was due.
Right, so
we
I'm,
were not saying like, you have 24 hours.
well, no, I'm saying, so if you, so you send it out late, so let's say it was supposed to go out, let's say October 1st, but you sent it out October 10th, so you're giving them, let's say, to November 10th to pay it, or whatever due date you put on that bill, and then 15 days from that date is when the late fee.
Generally, most of the pilots have a fixed date where they're due. And we make it clear that whether or not we send a bill, it's due. They can do math on their end too.
Gotcha.
And if it's not
That's how
paid
they
on
gotta
that
pay it.
due date, most of the pilots in the last 10, 15 years say that the 5% is due immediately. And every month after that, there's an additional 1% that's cumulative until paid. And importantly, the IDA doesn't keep these fees, the penalties or the interest, they have to go out, to the city, county, and school, pro rata when you do get the funds.
So that's good to know, so it's similar to like a regular tax bill going out, it says, you know, this, you know, sent as a courtesy, you know when your bill is due. If it's paid after this date, this is the amount.
That's right.
Okay.
So,
Except for the ones that are calculated, because they obviously aren't gonna know what's due, but they did reach out and ask for their bills, so.
so just to be clear, what's the story with Hoosier Hospitality?
With them, so part of their pilot is fixed, the majority of it, but then we also had to get 2% of whatever their gross receipts were for the prior year, and then there was some back and forth, because I think before they just sent an email being like, this is what our revenue, but I wanted an actual financial statement being like, no way to make.
So did they give you the information you wanted?
And
Okay,
and that subsequent bill went out.
okay. So Dinosaur, what's their deal?
I haven't talked to them. I can reach out to them.
Yeah, I think
They
that,
always, I feel like they stall. They get the bill, then they ask us for the backup, how we calculated it, so we sent that to them, and then they said they're sending it through to be processed.
So they'll be assessed a fee then, right?
Depends, yeah, I mean, like I said, the ones that we calculated, they don't know what they're supposed to pay until we calculate it, and given the past calculations, we wanted to make sure it was accurate, so a couple of them did go out pretty close to their due date, and I don't think it would be fair to hold them responsible for their late fee. We did ask them to turn it around as quick as possible, though, because they knew that it was coming, it's just that they didn't know how much to pay.
So, I mean, do you have issues with them? Have you had issues with them in the past, Dinosaur and Hospitality?
Yeah, they're always late. No, Dinosaur is
Really?
always late.
They are?
Because of that demand that they put on with the backup,
They're usually late, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're one of our late ones.
All the
But we
time?
charge them late fees.
they'll probably get a late fee depending on when we.
Has it ever gotten into the, past the 5% into like the 1%, like accrual, or are they paying, like even though it's late, are they paying within a month, or are they waiting 6? Just curious.
No, it never gets that far. I
Okay.
mean, they might have gotten a 1% every now and then, but it's usually the 5% that they pay it.
Oh, yeah,
Got it.
okay. I mean, 'cause this Hoosier number's a pretty good sized number, I mean,
Yeah, this is the first year of their jump in the,
Oh,
usually it's just a flat 200,000 for the first, like, half of their pilot. This is the first year with their 2% of their gross revenue.
oh, okay.
And they had
Alright.
2 different people do the chain of cutting the check, reach out and ask if it was correct, and we had to tell them, sorry, yes, this is correct, so. I think they were just also a little shocked about the amount, was, wanted to make sure it was right.
Alright.
I wonder, yeah, I mean, I wonder if the person that's even doing this was around when they signed up for this.
Actually, yeah, the person that I emailed the bill to is the person that was on the application.
Yeah.
BBL, it's pretty amazing.
Well, so what was that, like a 10-year? Like, how long did that,
seems
It was
short.
a longer one. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause they've been around since
Yeah, I
at
think
least 15.
we were doing normally 20-year
Oh,
pilots.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're in reality phase then?
Yes, it's hit us officially.
Any other questions from Matt before we go into budget, so we can approve the statement of financial position? Otherwise, we have a motion.
I make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We just have the normal absences. Okay, into budget.
All right, so from the last meeting, working with Danae, we put in project closing fees and application fees into the charges for services based on 2 projects, and we'll receive closing fees for into applications. And for professional services, just standard increases. And then for the grants and donations, we put in a number just for like miscellaneous sponsorships or grants that we might do. We already had the thing for Counterfest in Archtober, so if the IDA decides to do more of those next year, just wanted a number in there to make sure we're covered.
Mhm.
Other than that, it's the same numbers from the prior meeting.
So what's the story about this municipal organization that we can put the money into?
So actually come up in the LDC meeting, so we have to wait until the city of Troy is part of it, and then we get a sub-account. I know Justin can probably explain it better than I can, but I think the holdup is we're waiting for the city comptroller to start that process.
Oh, so they haven't started it yet?
We made a point to emphasize that with Seamus at the last meeting,
Okay.
because the LDC would possibly be part of that as well. So, in about 3 meetings ago, we, like the meeting that we had, like before that this new person was brought in, like I think it was like that week, we brought it up as like this would be something, we've been trying to make it a priority.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've not met that person, I have not spoken to them. All I know is they are involved in what's coming up as the budget approval, and I can imagine we're not gonna see anything within a month or 2. But what I would like to ask, and I will draft a letter copying Danae and Justin, and to Seamus, is I wanna know, I wanna know this is a priority. Before the end of the year, we need an answer from them of when they can dedicate the time to this to make the change. And I would think that this isn't something that should take longer than possibly, I mean, is it too lenient to say like midpoint next year? Like we've gotta change this. I think we've been asking as a board for, at this point, almost 2 years of this cycle of reviewing this. So it might be new to the comptroller, but it's not for us. So I want it to be a definite, like, we need them to come meet with us, discuss it, have some points before. I would like that to happen before the end of the year, within the first quarter, and then have a plan for it for next year, if we can do this.
I mean, a 1% difference in that balance is...
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the grant budget, or it's not grant, but it's the, what we gave to, Powderfest, essentially. Like, it's that, or it's the admin fees. It's like, it's a lot to cover.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I mean, I figured, it looks like it's around 3.5% right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I wonder what they're, like, I'm curious what they're up to today. If any other questions with the budget, ask those. I'm gonna Google that, though.
Oh, no,
right
that's
now.
the only thing I'm okay with everything else. That's a good chunk of money sitting around, just like,
Yeah.
Any, if there aren't any further questions, do we have a motion to adopt the 2026 budget?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. And no opposed, and we just have our absences. Great. On to adjournment. Who wants to take it?
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Okay, I can't find it, but they post their rates, and then, like, daily, they change them if they do, and I'm curious what they're
The
at.
last time it was around 4%, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Into the Troy Capital Resource Corporation Board of Directors meeting, October 17th, 2025. We have not enough people to approve the minutes. We will move straight past new and old business and once again into the financial statements and budget approval for 2026. So Matt, again, this is your meeting.
Our first report is the statement of financial position. As of September 30th, we had total assets of $295,174, with $80,174 of that in cash. We had liabilities of $15,000, which left us with a fund balance of $280,174. With no significant changes to the statement of financial position for September. And lastly, we have the statement of activity for the month of September. We had we ran a deficit of $15,245. Our only revenue source was our bank interest, and our largest expense was the grant to the Contemporary Circus and Immersive Arts Center.
Any questions or comments? We have a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
New York class, that's what it is, sorry. Okay, and into the budget.
I don't believe there were any changes to the CRC budget from the last meeting. The big one to note is in the proceeds from issuance of debt. So we still have the working capital loan from the LDC. Excuse me. So I cut that in half and spread it over 26, 27, just based on whatever the LDC's cash budget is at the end of the year. I figured we'll pay something back by the end of 26. But everything else is normal yearly expenses, professional services, again, just slight increases.
Got it. Any questions, or do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thanks, Matt. And adjournment. Take it away, Alex.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Great. Yeah, New York class, I always get that wrong.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Have a great weekend.
Okay, Jeff.